Celtic have been very poor this season, and people are staring to point the finger. Kris has went on a huge Celtic rant following our shock defeat, and a lot Celtic fans are saying he is speaking the truth. We will go over this in today's video, whilst discussing all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours.
But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.
The tone from Celtic's official outlets after Sunday's 2-0 defeat to Dundee was subdued, offering a factual but low-energy account of what was, by any measure, a damaging afternoon at Dens Park. The match report on CelticFC.com didn't try to hide behind spin. Its headline and copy carried the blunt admission that it was a disappointing day for Celtic, before listing the goals that condemned Brendan Rodgers' side to their first league loss of the season. According to the club's own numbers, Celtic dominated the game with 82% possession, 23 shots, and 12 corners. Yet, it only reinforced the same problems Rodgers has spoken about all season: wastefulness in front of goal and a lack of sharpness in the final third. There was little in the official post-match output to lift the mood. No rallying message, no rousing call to arms, just an acknowledgement of what supporters already knew. Celtic were well below their usual standards. The silence from the club's senior figures was just as noticeable. With tension growing between fans and the board over recruitment and ambition, the lack of any leadership comment only deepened the sense of frustration. As the dust settles on a bruising weekend, Celtic's official response, measured, muted, and factual, feels reflective of the current mood across the fan base: deflated, restless, and waiting for answers. Now for the main story, as under fire Brendan Rodgers has been accused of switching off as Celtic's season continues to spiral, with Kris claiming the Hoops boss already looks like a man with one foot out the door. Rodgers' men slumped to a shock 2-0 defeat to Dundee at Dens Park, their first loss there in 38 years, leaving them 5 points behind leaders' Hearts after just 8 league games. Sky Sports pundit Boyd didn't hold back after watching another flat Celtic display. He hit the nail on the head live on Sky Sports, saying, that team just replicates the way Brendan Rodgers is right now as well. Look at him. He looks as if he's just switched off. The team is flat. There's no energy about it. Brendan Rodgers already looks, he started it. The signs are already there. All of a sudden, he's doing interviews with media companies down the road, saying, I'm still here. I'll be available next year because I'm not going to re-sign with Celtic. There's an opportunity for me. He's getting away with everything. Everybody blames the board for not bringing in players. And you've said that yourself. When has Brendan Rodgers got to get criticism? Rodgers sat down with BBC, not BBC Scotland, earlier this week for a wide-ranging interview that raised eyebrows among supporters, with many questioning the timing amid the team's dip in form. While the Celtic boss admitted the summer transfer window didn't go as planned, he should be getting far more out of the talent at his disposal. Celtic supporters voiced their anger before kick-off in Dundee, delaying the game with a protest against the club's board, and they were left furious again after another lacklustre performance. The pressure is now piling on Rodgers ahead of next weekend's trip to Tynecastle, where defeat to Hearts could leave Celtic a massive 8 points off the pace. In other news, Celtic legend Kris Sutton has slammed the lack of quality in Brendan Rodgers' squad after the champions' shock 2-0 defeat to Dundee, branding the Hoops bench rotten. The loss at Dens Park, Celtic's first there in 37 years, has left Rodgers' side 5 points behind Hearts and sparked fury among fans who protested against the club's board at kick-off. Sutton didn't hold back on Sky Sports, questioning the depth and direction of Rodgers' team after another limp display. He said live on Sky Sports, so Celtic had big issues. But when you look to the bench for game changers, you go back through the last couple of seasons, Celtic always had a game changer to come off the bench. That bench is, it's just rotten. Rodgers' substitutions told the story. At half-time, he turned to James Forrest and Johnny Kenny, two players who, with all due respect, should not be getting minutes for Celtic in 2025 when chasing a 2-0 deficit. Luke McCowan and Michel-Ange Balikwisha were then introduced with under half an hour to play. Balikwisha, a £5 million signing who was tracked for 18 months, has failed to impress since arriving and continues to sit behind Yang Hyun-jun in the pecking order. Record signing Arne Engels was given just 10 minutes, while Donovan, Murray, Saraki and Sinisalo stayed on the bench. It was a damning reflection of where Celtic stand right now. A squad short on spark, confidence and impact players. Rodgers admitted that the transfer window hadn't gone as planned, but performances like this are only fueling frustration among supporters. Celtic now head to Tynecastle next weekend, knowing another defeat would leave them 8 points off the top, a scenario unthinkable just a few weeks ago. In other news, former Celtic defender Charlie Mulgrew has told Hearts they've got no chance of winning the Premiership, insisting their current run at the top won't last. The Jambos are 5 points clear of Celtic after a stunning start to the season, and that gap could grow to 8 if they beat Brendan Rodgers' struggling side at Tynecastle next Sunday. But Mulgrew, speaking on Premier Sports during commentary of Hearts' 3-0 win over Kilmarnock, wasn't buying into the hype. He said bluntly, "Enjoy it while it lasts. I don't think this is going to last." The remarks sparked a backlash from Hearts supporters online, but Mulgrew wasn't backing down. Responding to fans on X, the former Scotland international doubled down on his view, firing back, "Enjoy 8 good results. You'll be at least 8 points behind come March. I'd love nothing more than a challenge from a few teams outside of Celtic and Rangers, but the reality is yous dinny ken how it feels to win week in, week out over the course of a season." Good luck. Mulgrew's comments have divided opinion, with some fans accusing him of arrogance, while others admitted his experience in title races gives him every right to speak frankly. Celtic, meanwhile, face a must-win clash at Tynecastle next weekend. Anything less than 3 points would leave Rodgers' side facing a mountain to climb just 2 months into the campaign. Celtic need to buck up their ideas. The football has been boring and stale, and supporters are running out of patience. Before that crucial match, Celtic face European action in midweek. Lastly, Celtic women's boss Elena Sadiku cut a frustrated figure after her side's 2-1 loss to Glasgow City, a result that leaves the Celts languishing in 4th place and 6 points adrift of the league leaders. Despite pulling one back late on, Sadiku admitted her team didn't do enough to deserve a result and pointed to a growing gap in resources as a key concern. "I feel right now that we are in a situation where teams are investing strongly, and you can see how tight it is every season. Teams are getting better and better, and we need to push in the same direction as well. It is not about having a fear factor, but the fact that other teams are investing really well." Sadiku's comments echo a wider frustration increasingly felt across the club, a lack of tangible investment in the women's squad, despite infrastructural upgrades such as the Barrowfield project. While the new facility is a major boost in training standards, there's a sense that without meaningful player investment, the gap to the top will only widen.
What do you think of what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.